And we are back again, another episode of Feng Shui TV. You know what it is, it's the LWA, the only melanin guy you need in your life. And today, we have a different team for you on Feng Shui TV. Big shout out to the two that are going to be coming after me in some of the segments on the show. Shout out to Bella and shout out to Mamo, the queen. So today we're going to be speaking to a very educated fellow. His name is Tabani Ngcugama and he is the founder of Iwila African Hub. Join the LWA, don't be scared, pull through, let's go. Feng Shui TV, and we're inside now and the man is pretty busy, you know, he's organizing his own little library. I don't have that many books at home, that's for real. But this dude seems to be running a whole little library in the corner. So we're just gonna see if we're able to steal a couple of minutes with him, have a little interview. Let me see if he really is a doctor. I mean, this dude really is young. I'm being legit. I swear I've seen this guy on Spy Kids, but that's just me though. Feng Shui TV, back again. And the man is finally settled down. As you can see, this guy is a doctor. I still don't think he's a doctor. This guy's a Jedi. I've seen him in Star Wars. You were that guy, you were Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look at that haircut, guys. I know this guy's a Star Wars guy. But anyway, Dr. T. Ngcugama, how you doing, my G?
Optimistic, and I can hear from you what's in
Hey. I've just received word that this guy is actually a pastor as well. Jesus. So I just want to know, how's that journey been like? You know, transitioning into the pastor's life and also being an author and having so many different things that you're trying to accomplish.
Okay, I didn't expect that one, but yeah, it's fine. That journey, I mean, of being a pastor and all of that, being an author, I mean, it has been a long journey, you know. True. And unfortunately, I don't call myself a pastor as such now, because when you call yourself a pastor, you know, you are only doing the things that Christians do and all of that. And I mean, I'm not just a pastor. Pastor means a leader of a church. That's what pastor means. Pastor is leader of the church. True. So for me, I consider myself as a person or a spiritualist because I cannot limit myself to one gift, even in the church or even in the things of the spirit. But I mean, I'm a spiritual being who is actually doing anything that God wants me to do. So with that journey of being a pastor to being an author, that's where I started. In 2009, that's when I started leadership. I was leading SCO in my high school. We call it Muso High School. You see, I started there, and I started with like 5 people, like standing outside and sharing with them. I was actually apologizing to them that I was laughing at them when they were praying, not knowing that it was going to be me who was going to be praying like them the next day. So then they asked me, Uti, what happened? Why Sunji?
Why change?
Yeah,
why change?
That's what they asked. And I started sharing that story. When I shared that story, that's when people started coming in numbers to listen to that story. And mind you, the day before, I was a known rapper, a high school. This outie can freestyle, this outie can give punchlines and all of that.
So you were Tupac. You were Tupac, and then you put the mic down and you decided, you know what, I'm going to put a collar on.
I don't know whether it's Tupac or DMX or Proverb, I don't know, or Cabello. Yeah, you can be local or Cabello.
TKZ, I didn't say nothing. He's part of the TKZ now, he's the 4th member.
Now also Tira is also a pastor, he's also a man of God. He goes to ECC, a Tewini Community Church, Pastor Dube. So we do have many people who are pastors and
then have something else.
And have something else, yeah. So at that time, I left hip hop fully entirely to actually become a person in only Tabantu, Eskoleni, and all of that. And what happened is, at school is, like I think on number 5, the word spread in that break was high. Lomchita, who was actually a rapper the day before, is actually preaching. Then it was a miracle, everybody kept on coming, and that was my first audience. I had like 50 people standing outside, and the teachers saw that, and that's when I got the school's attention. They're like, no, we have to give this guy a venue. 2 days later, they're like, no, you can use our hall to actually gather people, not gathering them outside. Then that's when I started being a pastor, leading those learners, grade 11 till grade 12. Then grade 12, that's when I came to UKZN, and there's a lot of transition that happened there, and I became a pastor of former students. I even have my videos on YouTube, and sometimes I laugh at some of them because you see,
you're still laughing. Didn't you learn your lesson in high school? Why is this man still laughing? You are still ripping at these people. You can't be doing that. Come on.
I mean, there are things that you do when you are young. That's why I'm laughing. You see, even when you enter Christianity, there are things that you do. For instance, that's what made me to become a doctor, because I started seeing things the other way. Because that's where we're going to now. That's my first book. But before we enter that, high school, varsity, I did abafundi. From abafundi, they started getting packed in a venue because I started using someone's dining room at RS. Can you please borrow me your dining room to actually have abantu about 5 or 4? And they allowed me. One of my friends is a lawyer today. He was like, nah, do this. And I was doing first year. It was 2011. Then I went from room 1 to room number 39. NWTC Alus. It's still there. I say Southgate Spa. That place, it was a rest of 2011. Room 1 to room 39, knocking, there will be a pastor who will be with us on the service, so please make it a point that you come to the service. There will be a pastor, and I'm not a pastor, and I'm the one who's going to be there, you know.
I would like, I would go and see a pastor who used to rap. I want to see that. I want to see these two dropping bars in the middle of a verse.
I don't know, but then, I mean, that's what they loved, because when I was in university, that's when I got to actually fuse the two, because when I was in university I started making ngcugama, the hip hop that were speaking about God, theological songs, the hip hop and all of that. And fast forward to 2014, from 2014 I became a local pastor because I had like 600 students that were under our fellowship, including USville, including USville campus, the PNB campus, Howard campus.
Hey, that's some serious stuff. That's some serious stuff.
Okay, yeah, so must figure out I hope you're gonna cut that part. So
no, we're not gonna cut that part. What is this man saying? We don't cut nothing. But what we will do is we will go on an ad break. Catch us in a few. We'll be right back. We're still here chilling with the homie who's not actually a homie, who's actually a doctor, who's actually kind of a doctor, and also kind of a pastor, but he doesn't conform to the word of a pastor. My G, I have to know about this book, Decolonizing Christianity in the South African Context. Explain this to me. How do you come about such a hard topic within South Africans? Because we know a lot of South Africans battle with being Christian and also staying true to their culture. You know, how does this book tie into that whole scenario, or am I wrong?
It has been a long shot, and it's still in a process.
Oh, it's in progress.
Yeah, it's still in progress. It's not going to just take one day or so lot for us to get people into this idea or this revelation. I call it a revelation. But then you can call it an idea or you can call it a perception, but it's a revelation. So that's what made things to change. You see, I became a pastor ever since. After that, I became a local pastor. Then I got to experience the life of being a Christian leader, you know, living with people, being a pastor abantu abashadile, you know, being a pastor abantu abane ingane zabo engangawe, you know. Then I became a pastor of such people, and what happened is I studied theology on the other hand, because I have a degrees at UKZN, but then besides the degrees of UKZN, I was still doing a degrees, I say USA at that time.
Okay.
So that's how I studied theology. I studied theology at USA. So while I was still a student here in UKZN, abantu abanjengo Mr. Live nabanye abantu bangazi when I was still here on campus, you know, that I was actually speaking about, talking about because people knew that I was on the chin. Got 12, go 7, I'm at the computer room working, and the minute I'm with people, you see, I would stay. I don't know how much hours I would sleep at that time. So what happened is during the pastoral days or during that time, I felt like, you see, there is something more that needs to be done in this field, Christianity, because I'm studying abroad and I'm experiencing with the people that I'm leading. So when I studied theology, I got to study elective social justice in UK ZN. And social justice exposed us to racism, race and racism. There is inequality, there is whites and blacks, there is colonialism that happened this time and this time. There is inequality, women and males, and all of that. When I studied that, I saw izinto eziningi that has been misinterpreted in terms of theology. And fortunately enough, I was part of the people who were on campus. Then that's when I started voicing out my opinions. They would have things like images when we are writing courses. We have the Jesus who's a white person.
What is born in Africa.
Yeah, but then he's part of the course. We have like white angels, we have like white beings, you see, being portrayed in our courses. So I started writing an evaluation because at the end of the year, you're writing evaluation to actually give them a feedback. How do you feel about the course and all of that? So I wrote in the journal, why don't you use at least Christian symbols? You see, at least have a cross or have other things instead of having people with their faces and specific colors. If you can just have abandabani, then the school didn't consider that. I think they didn't even find that feedback or evaluation. I'm not sure. But then I decided to write a paper because I felt like that was not heard. So when it was time for me to do a master's in theology, I was like, no, let me do a pastoral ethics, the one that speaks about the behaviors, how to treat people, how people interact. Then I was like, no, let me write a topic on decolonizing Christianity in the South African context and make it to be my master's paper and see will I change the theological institution or will they see the way that I see?
So you were the guy, you were the guy who looked at the rules and said, no, we must go out of the box.
Yeah, that's how social justice helped me.
Respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
I was like, no, I'm seeing this, but then I feel like there's something else. So I wrote a paper. I knew that the paper was going to get their attention. But then I thought that I'm going to pass too, because the paper was actually truthful, was based on the truth. I mean, whatever that I was saying, I will speak about it when we speak about the book though, what I was saying in the paper. So, but whatever that I was saying was something that was in the Bible, so I was supposed to pass, because I followed everything. But then I failed. I got 67 passes South Africa, but in USA it's failed. So then they said, no, you failed the course, you need to redo the paper and all of that. Then I started sending the paper to people that I know, people working in the municipalities, people who are authors, people who are noble artists, people that I know who were like in high position. I sent them my paper and I was like, please tell me, what do you think of this? And all of them, they responded with one thing: this is what the world is supposed to hear. This is what Africa is missing. Please, can we share this? And I was like, no, don't share it. It's still a master's paper. So that's when I got the idea that this is going to be a book.
And you had to finish it.
I had to. Because after the paper received attention and I was able to finish my PhD, my doctorate there. When I finished my doctorate, they said I was supposed to be still owing a master's, but I was able to write for a doctorate, although my master's was incomplete. Because everything was on pass, but they said that paper had the problem because I passed everything except that paper. So then when it was time to do a PhD, they're like, you can do it, but once you go to masters, you still need to redo your paper and increase your mark.
So the PhD wasn't really a main decider in you doing the book. The PhD was more of a benefit. The book was more of a spiritual calling.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
Yes, it's something that is actually a spiritual calling, because that's the same year that I left being a pastor. That's the same year that I left being a teacher. You see, you'll find that in the third chapter of the book. I speak about that, even the school that I was in. That's when I left in 2018. I was like, no, I'm leaving teaching, I'm leaving pastoring, I'm going back to university, because I feel like there's something more that can be done and there's something more that can be said. Then I came back here and Guess what? I came back saying, now I'm a doctor, now I'm writing books, now I'm in business. You see, so I feel like I had to take that turnaround, and what happened is that it led to that book, because after that PhD, after I passed the PhD, and they saw the influence that my book was actually making in South Africa.
They couldn't deny it.
I feel like they saw it, and I feel like they couldn't deny it as well. Then they're like, can you please put your paper on this app before you submit it to us? Then I submitted that paper to that app. Then after that I submitted to them. Then they gave me 87. They said, you've passed. Then that's how I became a doctor officially, because I couldn't be qualified as a doctor without the scores of that. Then after that, I said, I'm going to make this into a book. After finishing a PhD or a doctorate, I knew that I was going to have influence. I'm young, I'm a doctor, people are going to be listening to what I'm saying, so I need to give them a book. Then that's when I changed the master's paper. Then when I took that master's paper, I didn't make it a master's paper anymore. Then I wrote now it as a book in a language that will be understood by everyone, and I included so many other things that are not in the paper. And the book has sold almost now, it has sold many copies. You know, I will not say the number because I haven't checked the stats. Other books are sold by Amanyama distributors. Yeah. But then it has been selling, and it even connected me to Abu Joshua Maponga. I think you know the guy who's at the cover of the book. Show me with DSTV, Abafundis in Ayonkin. So I happened to meet up with him, because journalists, when they saw me, or the paper was going through the news, because I also have friends. Yeah. So now when that was going through the news as well, newspapers publishing me and all of that, that's when I got the attention of Babu Joshua Maponga, and I sent him, because journalists were telling me, do you know this guy? I didn't know him. It's not like I saw him speak about this black Jesus, black Christianity, then I saw him. No. It came to me. Then the journalists were the ones who told me that there's this guy. Then I asked for his picture. That can I use your picture on the cover? Then he said yes, and that's how he got the book into Decolonizing Christianity.
Wow, wow, that is such a story. I need a break right now. I need to get some water. I know you need some water.
Yeah.
Catch us on another ad break. Let's just go to another ad break. I need to get some water. Speak to you on the side. I have some of my own Christian things I need to speak to you about. Catch us in the ad break. We'll be right back. Just scooped myself a version of this book, and I can tell you one thing. This really is for black people. Every single page is black. No cap. Every single page is black. So how do people get this book, and how do other aspiring young authors get
specifically
to
yeah, so
I want people to ask me what it is, but he didn't answer.
This book is, now this one is a Zulu version. We have like an English version, and we have like a Zulu version that has been translated and edited KZN. But besides that, the book is available at iWheeler Bookshop. We have e-bookshop, iWheeler Bookshop. We have itolo ezinye eziyidayisa, like that sell our books, just like Adam's book have some of our books as well. But people who want to access it can just directly contact our website, because that's the easy one, because we also are a bookshop too. So if you just contact our bookshop, that's what's going to make things easier. A number that I'm going to just give, or that's going to show in the video at the end. So yeah.
Alright. And where can people get you on your socials if they want to follow the movement, they want to be part of it, they want to break out of the conventional Christian rules? How do they keep up with you? Because I know a lot of people, they might see this, they might not be around the area, and they might not see you personally. So how do they keep up with you? Are you on some sort of social media?
Yeah, you need to join it, Decolonizing Christianity or a Positive Mindset Gathering. So it's Decolonizing Christianity Facebook page, or else Positive Mindset Gathering Facebook page. So if you get into those social media platforms, you will be able to see us and my videos when I talk about these philosophies and these ideas. You can get them there. And for the people who aspire to become authors, it's very easy with us. I mean, there is no publishing company that's like us. Trust me on that one, and the South Africans will know us. Like I always say, we're not the best publishing company, we're the first publishing company.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
like we don't see other people. I'm telling you, even with the prices, even whatever that I'll tell you, even when people come to us, they've never experienced people like us. I mean, people that are leaving publishing companies to come to us just because of our services and the prices. So because we are not about money, but we are about black people telling their stories. So what we do, we have like 3 steps to publishing a book. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So step 1, we price a teaser. No, step 2, we price a teaser. No, step 3, we price a teaser. But if you want to join us, it's as little as like 350. If you just contact us on the details that are provided, you just talk to us, then you say you want to sign up. 350 J, Maria Ramaphosa gets you in, and then it's your sevens. Yeah.
Look, it's been a journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you
And
so
now,
much.
we're going to be switching over to our other segment of the show. Our 2 beautiful darlings, Bella and Queen Mamo. They're going to tour in and check them out for their interviews. It is what it is, baby.